Hello, welcome back to GMGA. Today we are here to talk about how important the Metaverse is to the evolutionary and historical progress of mankind. In 1970, due to the aftermath of the Second World War, the military of all major countries in the world began to research ways to transmit information faster, more convenient, and less easily intercepted by the technology of the time, and the internet was born at that time. In 1974, Robert Elliott Kane of the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency and Vinton Gary Cerf of Stanford University developed the TCP/IP protocol, which defines the method of transmitting information between computer networks. In 1983, the ARPA network technology became the core of our current internet, which is arguably the initial version of our internet. As internet technology gradually spread from military to commercial, and then from commercial to civilian life, the internet became a singularity of the 1990s and laid the foundation for mankind's historical status of the gods of the New World. Network for us is still a tool of information transmission, but in terms of internet technology, the internet is equivalent to creating another dimensional space invisible to our eye. It uploaded words information using codes or the existing information resources that can be used to create various new combinations. For example, we can tell a story with text on the internet, convert photos and videos into sophisticated RPG display technology to recreate an exact replication of the object in the photo in the internet world. We can even use some graphics and animation technologies to create our own imagination directly in the virtual world, which may look like a screen from our side, but in the virtual world, it is like creating a new world. In 1962, the first computer game after the invention of the computer was released. It is a game called Space War, which was created by a college student named Steve Russell, who is regarded as the father of computer games in the gaming history. Later in 1970, Steve founded the world-renowned video game company, Atari, which is the creator of many of the old games we have played. With the birth of the internet and video games and the maturity of the technology, in 2004, Blizzard launched the large online video game World of Warcraft, which is still in operation today and crashed the other technology of 2D and semi-3D online video games at that time, became the most popular online game of its generation. Compared with other games, World of Warcraft is more refined and full of various different ecological and geographical 3D world, as well as exploration mode of maps instead of teleportation, which set a new milestone for online games at that time. World of Warcraft has promoted the worldview and vision of human beings in online video games. In 1991, Sega installed the first virtual reality headset, stereo headphones, and inertia sensors in arcade games, allowing the system to track and respond to the user's head movement, stats, to transmit sound and stimulate realistic spatial sound effects. And in the same year, they launched a multiplayer virtual reality network entertainment system. The total price is $73,000, including the helmet, the exoskeleton gloves, which is the world's first three-dimensional virtual reality system. Then in 2001, virtual reality technology was integrated into desktop computers, and in 2016, a new large-scale multiplayer interactive VR system was launched, which is cheaper for people. Of the 5 senses that human relies on to interact with the outside world, vision accounts for about 83%, and the VR system follows the human visual system to create an easier immersion in the virtual world by solving the problem of delay in receiving virtual screen changes and reactions, as well as the angle and distance of human eye vision in the virtual world, allowing its information to be substituted into the brain to stimulate reality. The information is substituted into the brain to stimulate the processing formula that the real world is accustomed to, creating an immersive feeling. But the brain has been trained in the real world for a long time, and artificially stimulated information is far less than the strength of the brain's skills to recognize its authenticity. Especially one of the thresholds that must be broken for virtual reality is the light and shadow system, on which human vision relies heavily. Human brain heavily relies on subtle light and shadow changes to distinguish objects, And as soon as a little bit of light fails to match the rules that the brain is used to, the brain will conclude that it may be an illusion. In 2020, the video game industry will finally install the light and shadow system into the game. And the major selling point of last year's PS5 is a light tracking system. In the past, video games rely on a large amount of computer photo data for comparison and require labor work for simulation and implementation, which brings a lot of pressure for game designers to stay up late to achieve the ideal game light and shadow display. With a game of shadow tracking system, the computer will automatically calculate the changes of light and shadows and more faithfully present the texture of the surface material of each different objects under the light or shadow, which also reduces the requirements of display computation power and conforms to the human brain's cognition of the rules of light and shadow in the real world. It also causes confusion between reality and virtual. Now, back in 2002, when computer games and the internet were changing life of human beings, the information at that time was enough to support the powerful imagination of human beings. The Japanese animation work Sword Art Online, which was once popular all over the world, and The Matrix that was released in 2003, are all about the immersive world of human beings. The setting of Sword Art Online is that human virtual game technology has been integrated with the consciousness neural network and uploaded to the internet for interactive massively multiplayer online games. Human beings can make instant adjustments and changes in appearance, buy and sell virtual resources, and use instant food and drink to meet the various needs of the virtual character or abilities. For example, the game can be used to achieve interactive effects with the virtual game world, such as exciting battles like a warrior or chanting spells like a wizard. The Matrix is set in the real world where humans are ruled by a large number of AI robots and are planned to supply mechanical power for AI. In order to keep humans from resisting, the AI intelligence has studied the human brain nerves thoroughly and input stimulus that can make the brain produce all the sensory information in the form of contacting one of the main nerve nodes in the back of the brainstem, giving humans the illusion that they are in a beautiful human era, while the real human body is actually in a deep sleep from birth to death and basically never really used the five senses. I have to admire the infinite creativity of the human imagination with the limited information at that time, and they can come up with such an unimaginable story. Both in common is that whether human or artificial intelligence, because the human brain will analyze all the information interaction with the outside world after the knowledge technology, create a virtual world for humans that is almost 100% of the immersive experience, as if they are living in a different world and is almost identical to reality. Such brain research progress was also released in 2019, that is, the sensational Elon Musk's brain-computer interface, which implanted threads thinner than a hair into the human skull and transmitted data through the skin using Bluetooth infinite transformation as a signal. The brain-computer interface technology can help animals and humans who have been paralyzed for a long time to regain physical activity, and is ready to be applied to paralyzed humans for medical experiments. It is believed that in the near future, the technology will be more commonly used in other fields. In addition to helping paralyzed patients, others can also use this technology to help with their lives, and even fast learning through the implanted chip. Having said so many news about science and technology that are born or advanced with the times, I wonder if you have found it. Yes, I'm talking about the chronicle of the birth of the Metaverse. When humans mature these technologies and combine them with each other, the era of virtual worlds like Sword Art Online, The Matrix, will officially arrive. Imagine you are laying in bed, wearing a device or through the brain-machine interface connection technology, you can enter the game world, walking through one of the game's teleport that allows you to teleport to a distant location via the system. Or even some virtual world system allows you to use the coordinates to teleport or give you the ability to simulate flight like a bird or Superman, or snorkeling in the sea without changing air. You can pull documents or big weapons or tools out of a small backpack or pockets inventory system at any time. It's just a pit of pockets and it has no weight on that you can't even feel it. Through these mechanisms of the virtual world, do you feel like an enhanced human being with a powerful physical body that breaks through the limitations of the physical body? Or even like a god? Just imagine, the code can be generated through the combination of the corresponding object appeared in your hands out of thin air. Therefore, the meta-universe means more to human beings than just virtual money or games. The meta-universe is a great historical achievement that elevates all human beings into gods. And like the god creating the world, humans are creating their own next generation world, or even creating a new Garden of Eden. Do you want to be a god? Then why don't you join the Metaverse? Join GMGA to get more information about the Metaverse and become a god who can create new worlds together. This content is just for entertainment and educational purpose, and it's not for financial investment advice. The URL to join us has been put in the information bar at the bottom. And that's it for today. We will see you next time.